Baby. I'm getting the cobwebs out from last night. I'm here in New York City, and that's always a problem when I come down here for the first night. But I'm here talking live horse racing with the guru, with the man, Frank Lyons, down in Kentucky. You're down at Ellis Park, Frank?
Down at Ellis Park. Well, I'm at Churchill, really, but we're running at Ellis Park, and we
Okay.
ride two horses today that both have a chance.
All
One
right.
for Rick Dutrow and one for Glenn Wismer, and in the second and sixth, I believe, and they got a big chance today.
Second and sixth race at Ellis Park.
So yeah, Sammy Camacho in
Sammy,
the
let's go, baby. Let's make
yeah,
some money.
that's it. What are you doing in New York, Howie?
I'm down here I came to New York, see a couple people, did a show last night, killing like 9 birds with one stone, went to the hip doctor yesterday to get my hip
Ooh,
checked out. And that's good news because I definitely need a brand new one.
yeah, you
Uh
do. Wow.
yeah, she said she looked, I did the x-rays and she said, yeah.
Yeah,
She's like, how are you moving? I'm like, it's actually not that bad. I mean,
yeah. You
when
know
you're sitting.
that those operations are fantastic because I was playing soccer last year with this guy from England, and he's an older guy. He's like 55, and I said to him, I said, "How often you play?" And he said, "Well, I haven't played for like 6 months because my hip's been bothering me, but I had it replaced, and now I'm playing again. I had it replaced like 3 weeks ago." And
Yeah.
I'm like, "You're playing soccer, and you
Yeah.
3 weeks? Yeah, so
That's what
you
she
can
told
do
me. She
whatever."
told me that the bounce back time is quickly. I guess you're walking the same day.
Yeah,
Um,
wow.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it's
won't.
years,
Yeah.
years and years of playing basketball, and she showed me the X-ray. There's like no cartilage; it's just bone on bone.
Oh,
Um,
no good. Yeah.
so it is what it is. I walked home in a torrential rain downpour yesterday, and
Oh,
luckily Pete's Tavern is right next to my doctor's that I went to, so I had to duck in there to get out of the rain, and that's one of
yeah.
the oldest Irish pubs. Well, I think it could be the oldest one in New York City.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah, Pete's Tavern. It's been around forever. So
Wow.
I
I'll
went
have
in
to check
there and
that out.
yeah, I went in there and had a couple natural painkillers and
Yeah. Okay.
and I managed
Had
to
a
make
couple
it.
of natural painkillers myself
Yeah,
yesterday.
I managed to
Yeah.
make it home. I managed to make it home 12 hours later.
With no pain.
No
Yeah.
pain, feeling all
Yeah.
right.
Wow.
Not
Yeah.
bad. So I'm down here. I'm missing what I think. I'm looking at the Saratoga cards today and tomorrow.
I
And
mean,
my
they're
God,
incredible.
oh man. I mean, uh, I'm looking at that race today, um, with the Irish horse Zulu, the Hall of Fame race today.
Zulu Kingdom. Yeah, well, he's Irish bred, but
Irish
he's
bred.
trained by Chad Brown, and he's always been over here, and he'll be very tough to beat in that race today. He's in great form, and the horse looks like he's full of confidence. And if I'm not mistaken, he already won at Saratoga last time out,
Yeah.
and so he's coming back kind of relatively quickly, but if you see Chad Brown making that move, you know that the horse is doing fantastic. Chad comes from the Bobby Frankel era, and he trains like Bobby. He thinks like Bobby, and he would never put that horse back in a race this quick if he wasn't doing fantastic.
Yeah, you got Flavian Pratt aboard. It looks, but I will say, you look at this field, and there's a couple other horses in here that could give him a run. I mean, Luther, the English horse, is decent.
Yeah, yeah, he's a decent one. And the English or like Carl Spackler was the best miler in US in the US last couple of years maybe, and they recently sold him to England. And he's gone over to England to run. He run the Prince of Wales, and then he run the other day in the I can't remember what the name of the race was, but he ran like sixth, And so those European horses are absolutely double tough. They, you need to give them a little more respect than the US horses, although every now and then the US comes up with a particularly good horse. But in general, those English or European horses will have an edge when they come over here.
What about the Kentucky horse? You got Clever Agains in this race.
Yeah, I mean, I've always couldn't wait to see him on the grass because he's by American Pharoah and he's out of a Galileo mare,
Yeah.
and so he's bred for the grass. And that mare, the dam of Clever Again, Fluttering, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she won a graded stake on the grass at a mile and a half. So you know that he's bred for the grass. He's actually maybe the horse that you should bet on in there because his first time on the grass is going to be as good as he'll ever run. And he's shown some incredible ability, including to come back again after being mugged by journalism.
Yeah, you got Jose Ortiz aboard, Asmussen.
Hmm.
But I'm going to toss in a long shot here, and this is just one of these Saratoga feelings in this race.
Well,
You got his brother Irad Ortiz on
yeah.
Meat Bago, a New York bred.
Yeah, New York bred. He's a lot of speed with that horse, as will there be with Clever Again.
Yeah.
They're naturally fast horses, so it's going to be a good pace in that race. And, it probably will set up better for the favorite. But it's going to be a very interesting race because you do have Clever Again trying to grass for the first time, and they're a very accomplished field.
I'm looking forward to watching this race.
Hmm.
So yeah, you got great racing today. It's the Hall of Fame.
Tremendous racing tomorrow. Tremendous racing.
Unbelievable tomorrow. I mean, you got 4 grade ones in a row. We're going to go over those.
Yeah.
Today you have the Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah.
Because my girl called me and she said, I think I hear horses. And I don't know if they were bringing horses over because you have the sales coming up.
Yes, that's it. On Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, you got sales coming up, and I'm going to come up for the New Yorks next week just to go in, check it out. I've actually, it'll be my first time going, so I'm looking forward to seeing the sales.
You haven't been at the sales yet?
I haven't been at the sales. I always miss it. I don't know why.
You're kidding me.
No.
So Monday and Tuesday is actually the best days up there because it's like, black tie party. Up there, everyone's dressed up and they all come over and they have a big party outside the sales and everyone's they all meeting each other up in Saratoga where they're there to have a good time and spend money and buy horses. And it's a lot of fun to be involved with that.
Yeah, my neighbor Dougie Cawthon just rolled into town, and that's what he's here for. He's here.
That's what he's for, and he can spend some money.
Yeah, get out the owner's checkbooks, and that one looks good for 1.2 million.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm looking forward to it. I'll go to the New York bred, which is a little step below. Let's face it. New York breds have always been kind of the stepchild.
Well, it's kind of like that's I hate to put them down or anything like that because they race for such great money and it's getting more popular every year. The New York breds are, but they can be bought a little cheaper, but not a whole lot cheaper. It's kind of like the Walmart of of the sales is like a little value there, and you can come out really really good from that New York bred sale.
Hey, I mean, you look at some of them, they've fared well in big races. You got Smarty Jones and the other one, and some of them have done well. I mean, tomorrow there's a race named after a pretty decent New York bred, 4-Star Dave.
4-Star Dave, he's buried right over there on Center Court. You know, the little track that Man of War used to go to gallop on at the back of Saratoga. He's buried over there with a phenomenon and quick call. And there's 4 horses over there. I'm not sure who the other one is, but nice little graveyard site over in the center court that is always missed by people going through center court. And I guarantee you didn't even know that they were there.
No, I did. And I spent last Thursday night. Tom Durkin brought me up on stage at the permanently disabled jockeys, that karaoke thing.
Yeah.
So I went on stage and I told about 10 minutes of jokes.
Yeah.
And I got the chance to meet the great Leo O'Brien, who trained 4-Star Dave.
Oh, yes.
Met his daughter, met his son.
Yeah.
And just great people.
You know, when I first met Leo O'Brien, it was in Ireland. I got a lift to the races, a ride to the races from a friend of my dad's, and he knew Leo. And we met Leo coming out of the track. Now, I was 16, and Leo was coming out of the track. He had a toilet paper box under his arm, right? And he was just, like regularly dressed. And the guy talked to him and was saying, well done, blah, blah, blah. And I said, who is that? He said, that was Leo O'Brien. He just won the big race. And he had the trophy inside a toilet paper box. Yeah, that's a long time ago now.
No, he was, he's brothers with Colin O'Brien, who's my friend's married to his daughter. And it was great. All these people were there representing different areas of racing.
You know that Leo O'Brien was involved with his brother Michael in an accident over steeplechases, okay? And his brother was crippled for the rest of his life. And Leo was in the same race, riding when Michael got crippled. Oh. Michael was a trainer back in Ireland, very good trainer, trained big horses over the jumps.
Wow. Yeah, I know that whole family. I mean, that's just all horse racing. And 4-Star Dave, when I was younger, you just had one thing. When you went to the track, you automatically at Saratoga, you bet 50 to win on 4-Star Dave because it was automatic. You just knew this horse never lost. He always won at Saratoga.
He was I think he won at Saratoga for 9 years in a row.
Yes. Right? Yeah.
Now they won't even let 10-year-olds compete at Saratoga. When you get to be 9, even if you're sound, 100% sound, you're not allowed to run at Saratoga.
That's what's the reason for that?
It's crazy because back home the steeplechasers, they'll just get good at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And when horses get that old, and it's like having a human around the barn, it's like Lava Man. Do you remember Lava Man? He became a pony afterwards. He won 3 Hollywood Gold Cups.
Yeah.
And so Lava Man used to be in the barn when he'd have no stall door. He would just come in and out of the stall. He'd be walking up the shed row. I mean, seriously, he'd be going up the shed row, feeding himself, going back to his stall. They're like human. Yeah.
They are. Yeah. And not to get off subject, before we get into tomorrow's card, I got to talk to, oh my God, Frank, last Thursday, we had our horse Hoosick Falls run.
Yeah.
And it was the most depressing, disappointing, because we had high hopes. We're like, look at him. He's ready to go.
I felt it.
He came around the corner, and I looked up. My girl said, "What is he taking a nap? He just didn't feel like running."
He thought you were going 4 turns.
Yeah. Well, the worst is we're in the box and we're racing, and I said, "Look at him. He's jumping around like he's getting ready to race." And the guy, and there was a trainer on the left of us, and he goes, "Yeah, look at that number 7. His ears are up like he goes, he hasn't even started racing yet." And I'm like, "Oh no."
Yeah. Not what you want to hear.
No, it was brutal. But you know what, Frank, you talk about these horses. So I give him 3 hours. I go back to the barn and I look at him and I said, "Chuck, what was that? What was that?" I'm like, we're all a little nervous here, but after the first 100 yards, you could have taken off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Dude, you didn't have to walk on
Yeah.
national TV in front of us." So I'm yelling at the horse. It's just he and I one on one. And I swear to God, on my mother, he backed up into the corner and he put his head down. Normally he comes up and he bites me and he backed up and put his head down and kind of looked at me like, I'm sorry, I fucked up. He literally looked at me like I know, man. I felt bad. I started feeling bad because I'm yelling at him and I'm like, wow, he's really taking this hard.
Yeah. You said next time I'm gonna ride you.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna breeze him today. Well, they're breezing him today.
Right.
And if
Probably breezed him already.
Yeah. But they're today, this morning. I got to call and find out how he did. But if he trained today like he had been training, I talked to Johnny Thursday. We want to get him right back in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, that can hurt you in a certain way because if he had a bad experience first time out, which he didn't have a bad experience, but in his mind, you never know. And if you bring him back too quick, now it could go one way or the other. He might run a lot better, or he might get his feelings hurt again. And I mean, there's no guarantees in this game.
No, and this is how much I know about training. I'm talking to the trainer Jen, and I said, Jen, maybe I shouldn't feed him any carrots for a couple days before the race. No mince, no carrots, and tell him you don't get this shit unless you run fast. And she just looked at me like, I don't think that's it. Stick to something else, Howie. You really don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But
what about let's get into tomorrow's
races. Crazy, Frank.
Let's start with the third race.
Yes,
which
let's
is
start with the Saratoga
Special. Great race for through the years, and no exception tomorrow. You got some excellent 2-year-olds in here, including the first season sire Nick Sko, who is the sire of the one Ewing, who cost $585,000 now as a 2-year-old. So you know how good this horse had to be training, had to be looking, and everything for Mark Casse to give $585,000 for him, because he's by Nick Sko, who stands for 12,500. And so anytime you see a horse who's a 2-year-old go exceptionally, for an exceptional price of $585,000 when they're by a $12,500 stallion, that they have to be good. But Jose Ortiz rode this horse first time out, and now Irad rides him. Jose stays with the 4. So Jose thinks, I guarantee you, that the 4 is better than the 1. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to be right. Yeah, that doesn't mean he's going to be right. But it's 5-2 on Dazzle d'Oro, and it's 8-5 on Ewing. And then on the outside, Obliteration is 7-5. He's a 2-year-old by Violence who cost $200,000 at the OBS March sale this year. He's won both his races by 7.5 and 10 lengths. He beat a 6-horse field in the Sanford last time out, Group 3. Going 110-3, widening. So they look like, I don't know, to be honest with you, who I'd pick out of this race. I think that I'm going to go with the 2-horse Comport, because I kind of know this horse. He was second to a horse called Romeo last time out, who was beaten in the Tremont, but Romeo ran unbelievable, 108-3 last time out. That was at Churchill Downs. Now he comes in off of 59-3, Bullet Breeze. So that means he's doing good, because Eddie doesn't really work him that fast. And so, I mean, like, I've seen so many horses that show so much ability first time out, and then when they're put in against winners, you don't see the same sort of horse. So, of all the
trainer, Eddie Keneally, is having a pretty good 2025.
Well, he is having a good 2025, and the only horse that he ran up at Saratoga this year won already. That was like 2 weeks ago. And Eddie's a very good trainer. He's been around a long time. I've known Eddie since we were 20 years old.
Oh
I could
wow.
tell, yeah, like, we know each other so well, along with so many other people that I've got to know since coming to this great country.
Yeah. Now this field, Frank. I saw Obliteration run.
Yeah.
I lost my breath. I was Obliteration. The only other horse that reminded me of him, and I can't think of the name of it. That horse in California that they paid $3 million for.
Oh, that's right. The gray horse last
That
week.
horse could have won the race running backwards. He just dominated. Like I never saw a horse toy with he just toyed with that field.
Yeah, he's a very nice horse, but I don't know if he'll turn out to be worth 3 million. I don't know if he's the best that Baffert has.
Yeah,
I think he had very high knee action. He hits the ground hard, but he's got definitely something to work with, and he'll be better around 2 turns. He reminds me of Skipaway, actually,
okay.
with his action and stuff, with the high, like he hits the ground hard,
Yeah.
when he's got, but didn't stop Skipaway.
No, he's got quick power, man. He was with the field, and all of a sudden, you just didn't even see him. He just was gone.
Yeah, a very, very nice horse.
but
So I
you're
mean,
right.
like, these horses will give him everything he wants and more. I believe Ewing, Dazzle, Dioro, Obliteration, even Comport,
Sure.
who will outrun those 8-1 odds tomorrow.
I like that. You got a long shot in there. You got to play that. I'm going to play that horse.
You know what, though? I think tomorrow's going to be very formful as far as the later races. I see the favorites, like, being very tough to beat in those races, including Fierceness in the Whitney.
Woo. Well, that brings us to race 8, which is the first of the 4 grade ones. The 4-star Dave, which we talked about earlier,
Sure.
$750,000 inner turf, 1 mile. And again, Frank, this field is stacked.
Yeah, of course.
Just stacked.
Like, that Johannes, who very rarely from Southern California lately, in the last few years, will you get a very good horse that can come back east and compete against the eastern horses, the horses coming from Europe. And, California is generally, the grass horses are just not quite as good as the East Coast horses.
Right.
But this Johannes is every bit as good as the East Coast horses, and he runs very well fresh. He hasn't been out since the 26th of December when he won the Group 2 San Gabriel. But then before that, in the Breeders' Cup Mile, he was beaten 3/4 of a length after winning 4 in a row before that. So he's only the Breeders' Cup Mile being second, like being away from being undefeated in his last 6 races. And Tim Yakteen, who's a former assistant to Charlie Whittingham, to Bob Baffert, Tim really knows what he's doing, and he'll bring that horse ready to go tomorrow. But whether he's ready to go, I mean, I don't know if that even wins this race. On form, yes, it does win the race. But you're dealing with the layoff. You're shipping into Saratoga. It's his first start at Saratoga. I think it's his first, it's only his second start on the East Coast. He ran in the American turf at Churchill Downs. And that wouldn't have been that tough a race. It wouldn't be near as tough as this. And he was 5th, beaten 2 lengths. That's the only blot on his copybook, on his report card. He is just a tremendous horse. And, he's a millionaire. And he'll be tough to beat in there. But there's, like Think Big, who I'm not sure how Jose Ortiz ends up on my boy Prince in that race tomorrow.
Yeah.
So Jose might, because he rode Think Big last time out, and Ben Curtis had ridden him in all his previous races, or a lot of his previous races. Ben is not here. They could have got Ben back aboard to ride him. He'd been very successful aboard him. But Jose Ortiz was there, and he rode this horse, and he won last time out. I'm not sure how he ends up on my boy Prince.
Yeah, that is interesting. A 15-1 shot. And when you look at Joanne, the Rispoli riding him, the first thing that pops out at me is Nyquist. I mean, that horse is bred. Jeez.
Like Nyquist is the wise guy. Like all the clever people in Lexington all have been all over Nyquist for the last few years because they know what type of stallion he is and they know how good he is. And, he's on turf, he's on dirt, he's going short. You can get anything with a Nyquist.
Yeah, that horse is a beast. And you're talking Think Big. The first thing that pops out on me at 6-1 odds, but it's a Godolphin Stables horse. You got to use it. The horse is going to go up.
So this horse was primarily a 5.5 furlong sprinter. They tried him going 1 1/8 at Keeneland in an allowance race, and he just looked like he didn't stay. And now he's probably more of a relaxed horse because he's had 5 races since then. He's won most of them. And, with winning races, going back to the winner's circle, going back to the barn, you get confidence, you get confidence and you think that eventually you think you're unbeatable. And so that'll help him get the mile distance. But sometimes when you run a horse at a mile and they're not supposed to go a mile, they'll get a mile the first time you run them at the mile distance because they don't know when to stop.
Right.
But now they'll be like, that was a bit too much last time. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna go a mile again. And maybe that's why Jose Ortiz jumped off him. I'm not sure why he did, but I think it's a very strange move because Think Big is obviously a very, very good horse. A better horse than my boy Prince.
And then you get to my favorite horse in this race. And I was hanging out with him Thursday night. This dude's hilarious. Kendrick Carmouche. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah, he's good.
That guy's crazy. Yeah. He killed me. He's trying to get me to try his Louisiana gumbo.
His hot sauce?
Yeah, I said, I can't do it. I said, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm really pale. And I have a problem with really hot, spicy, And my girl's like, he can't eat that shit, Carl. Kendrick, he's white.
Yeah, you know how Kendrick knows when he's hungry? When his asshole stops burning.
he was telling me, but everyone I talk to, they say he's a great cook.
Everyone from Louisiana is a great cook.
Yeah, that's true. That's big, And I'll tell you, he's riding the 8. And I, as a jockey, I love him. If you watch him ride,
he's having a great meet.
He rides every horse. Yeah. I don't care if it's a claiming horse, allowance, it doesn't matter. He rides every horse as hard as he can. Man, when he comes out of that gate, he just rides hard.
Yeah, and he's getting the results. That's why people love Kendrick, because it doesn't matter how funny a guy is or how great a cook he is if he's a jockey if he can't ride. They'll give him a set of cooking utensils and tell him to get lost. You
got to be able to do all of them. But I like that horse. Miguel Clement's having he's having a good meet.
Very, very good meet.
Yeah, he's taken right over where his father left off, and
you're talking about deterministic, who will be the speed of the race, and could be very difficult to catch. I mean, he won the Manhattan last time out. He has won 3 of his last 4 of his last 6 with 2 second place finishes in those 6 races. So, I mean, at 9-2 on the morning line is probably a little bit generous for him, I would think that he'll be bet down a little bit. He's shown that he loves Saratoga, and Miguel Clement is in top form, and he's done a tremendous job since taking over from his father, Christophe, who unfortunately left us.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you think of Chad Brown's the French horse with Flavien Prat on him, Intellect? The sixth.
I think the other horse, Spirit of St. Louis, is maybe got a bigger chance. The horse was second to Think Big last time out in the Kelso, and he was beaten a length, which on the grass is, that's a significant distance, because if a horse beats you a length, unless you got in trouble, he was in tight a little bit. He got in a little bit of trouble, Intellect, in the last race, so we'll give him another chance. He's just had 3 starts for Chad: third, second in the poker, and second in the Kelso, and he was favourite last time out over Think Big, so we'll give him a chance. He'll be 5-1. I think he might be overbet a little bit. I love that Flavien Prat is aboard him. Flavien, who isn't having the tremendous win meet, but he's having a tremendous meet, because he's won like 13 races, but they've all been important races on most of them.
Yeah, he wins big races, and you look at the Saratoga meet right now. It's the Ortiz brothers, 1-2.
The Ortiz. Ricardo Santana is having a wonderful meet. He's in third.
He's a good jockey, man.
But he doesn't have the support that Irad and Jose have. He has to go looking for his mounts. Irad and Jose are in a position right now where the agent has to choose which one they ride, and which is going to have the best chance. Ricardo Santana doesn't have that luxury.
Right. Yeah. It seems like they get all the good horses, and Irad's on the number 1 Shug McGahee horse.
Yeah.
Long shot.
Yeah, he won aboard him in his last 2 starts, the Tropical Park Derby. He is a 4-year-old, has just had 1 start this year. That was a win. And, he's by Twirling Candy out of a Kitten's Joy mare. So that's honesty on honesty. They're 2 of them, sires that if ever you have a horse by Twirling Candy or Kitten's Joy, one thing, they try.
Yeah.
And Cugino he's 8 of 10 in 1-2. So, with Irad Ortiz on him, he's undefeated on him with 2 wins from 2 starts at 10-1. I wouldn't talk you off him, because in this race, there's no standout.
No, this is a tough race. Just throw a dart. Yeah. Anyone can win this race.
Anyone can win this race. Yeah. And Cugino, he has as good a chance as anybody for a Hall of Fame trainer, and I mean a Hall of Fame trainer, in Shug McGahee, and Hall of Fame rider in Irad Ortiz.
That's right. That's going to be a great race.
So who would you go for in there?
I'm going to stick with early speed, number 8, my man Carmouche. I'm going to take Deterministic.
Yeah, I can't say that you're doing the wrong thing there, because I believe he's going to be the lone speed in the race. Kendrick Carmouche has got to know him so well. He's won both his starts on this horse, and he'll be, as you said, he'll give him as good a ride as anybody tomorrow, and he'll cook himself a great dinner.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So you know what? I can't even make a pick in this race. If I had to pick, I'd maybe pick the 3 horse Johannes, because I know that horse's form is the best form, but he's going to be 5-2. So anything can win that race.
I agree. So we go on to the next race, race 9, another grade 1, mile and 3/16 on the turf, the Saratoga Derby Invitational. Again, look at this lineup. Look at this race.
Yeah, you know what? So Hot as Hell, the 7 horse.
Yeah.
I was in Ireland when he ran first time out, and he was favored at 5-2. And myself and my cousin went down to the paddock, and it was first time out. And so we said, look, let's go down and we'll pick the horse that we like the best. So, and we both ended up on Hot as Hell, and he got in the worst kind of trouble that day, and he should have won. And so I came back to America, and he became like second best, third best, fourth best 2-year-old in Ireland. And that trainer, Jessica Harrington, is a trainer that is second to none. Like, she is the most exceptional trainer. Yeah, horses. Oh my God, horses never move up.
I look at this horse, Frank, and something tells me that they're serious about winning when they fly over the jockey.
Yeah, well, yeah, he'll fly over because it's 750,000. He's ridden this horse in every race, and he's 7-5 to win this race tomorrow. Now, there's two things that, well, the first thing is I do think that this horse is going to be very, very, very tough because he's ran against the best horse. He ran against a horse called Field of Gold, two back in the Irish Guineas. He came back to win the Sussex Stakes, and he ran disappointing the other day, but he is the best 3-year-old miler in England, and this horse ran great against him. Now, the thing about this horse is that this race is 1.3 miles tomorrow. And that's as far as I think that this horse wants to go. Now he's got class. He's run against the best horses. He is running 3 Group 1 races in a row, including winning one, the Futurity Stakes at Doncaster. That was as a 2-year-old. But then his 2 races this year have been in the Irish Guineas and the Coral Eclipse. You have to think he might have needed a race in the Irish Guineas, although Jessica Harrington will have had him ready. But the one thing I do believe, he went 1.25 miles last time out, and he obviously didn't stay there. But that was against Delacroix, who is from Aidan O'Brien's yard. He's the horse that's out of Tepin. Very, very good horse. Ryan Moore rode him. And Delacroix would be a short price in this race. And so this horse, he'll be a short price, hot as hell. I think that he's definitely the horse to beat, but if he gets beat, it's going to be because of the distance. The 1.3 miles, that'll find him out. And also the fact that he shipped to Sandown Park from Ireland to England, and he's shipping from England to Saratoga.
Yeah,
that's just, if he was 6-1 or 5-1 or 4-1, I would not talk you off this horse at all. But he's going to be even money.
He is going to be even money. And then you got, you have New Century chasing him along with Final Gambit.
And Test Score.
You said earlier, Flavien Prat on a Brad Cox horse, Judamont Farms, the 3. And Flavien Prat, he rides well in these big money races.
Yeah, and I'll just tell you that from here on in, it's Juddmonte. Okay, Howie?
It's not Judamont?
No, it's Juddmonte.
I've been calling it Judamont Farms since I was 5 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
It stops right here, Howie.
I've been calling it Judamont Farms since, because how long have they been around? 100 years?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Since I've been a little kid, I'm looking at Judamont. Yeah, so
Juddmonte are the number 1 farm in the whole world as far as breeding horses and racing them. Godolphin have been so successful, Coolmore have been so successful, but Juddmonte doesn't breed near as many mares as Godolphin or Coolmore, but yet they come up with, great horses every year, tremendous horses.
Yeah,
like Frankel, Enable,
2025, they already have almost $2 million in earnings. The farm does well.
Yes, the farm does well. Beautiful farm there. It's ran by my good friend Garrett O'Rourke, and we came to this country together, 20 years old, along with Eddie Keneally and another bunch of lads. And I got a soccer picture of the soccer team here in Lexington, and it's the who's who of the horse business in there. Percy, Michael Banahan is in it, Garrett O'Rourke, Peter Taff, Nacho Patino, Jim Fitzgerald, all running great farms, and did very well for themselves.
That's what the Irish do, baby. They come to the country and they just take over horse racing.
Yeah, that's and pubs.
And pubs. Yeah, if you're in New York City, you can't walk more than 150 feet without walking into an Irish pub.
Yeah, we're all
Uh,
related in Ireland through alcohol.
that is true, 100%. And if I walk out my apartment right now, there's about 10 of them within 3 blocks.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Uh,
and they've all been around for 100 years, um, which isn't that old in Irish
Not at
years, Irish
all.
age. So
Yeah. Barely a
we
pub.
talk about that's Saratoga. We get into the race 10, the test. We get into the test, and this is another grade one, 7 furlong, 3-year-old fillies and 3-year-old fillies. Um, this is a good race too, Frank.
It's a good race. Another man who came to this country, and we worked together for the first probably 2 years that he came to this country. We lived in the same house. Is Gabriel Dignan, the owner of the Six Echo Sound, who's going to be double tough. She's going to get a great trip because there's a ton of speed in this race. And Gabriel bred this horse. We call him Spider. That's his name, is Spider. And Spider's up in Saratoga right now, and particularly looking forward to tomorrow for this Grade One race. He's going to be probably the favorite. He's 9 to 5.
Yeah,
Yeah, he will be the favorite, and he's going to be double tough to beat because in this race you see, I'm not going to say it's cheap speed, but unproven speed. And so Echo Sound, she drew well. She loves to race. Two back in the Miss Preakness going 6 furlongs. Now they're going 7 tomorrow, but she won going 6.5 last time out. She got a perfect trip behind a lot of speed in that race, and she just mowed them all down. And then she came back and won the victory right at Saratoga. She's raced at Ellis Park, Churchill Downs, Keeneland, Pimlico, and Saratoga, and won at all of them. Like she got beat at Churchill Downs too in the Fern Creek towards the end of last year. But this filly has won 5 of 6, and I think that she is dynamite in the test tomorrow. The other filly in there that could be the surprise is Cash Call, the 4 for Bob Baffert and
yeah,
Flavian Pratt. Has won 3 in a row, including the Summertime Oaks last year, going a mile and a 16th. Now, she wouldn't have faced these fillies or anything like the talent of these fillies, but she has really woken up of late, and she's by McKinsey. She cost 600,000. She Bob Baffert wouldn't be shipping her East Coast if he thought that she should stay amongst allowance horses.
Speaking of shipping, we got our California guy Mike McCarthy comes in with Umberto Rispoli again on Look Forward, 8-1. Looks like a horse has a shot.
Yeah, well, she was second in the Acorn to Lacara, and she beat Good Cheer in there, who won the Kentucky Oaks. So that is, and she won at 7 furlongs, 2 back at Churchill, where she was the best bet on the card, but she went off at 750 to 1, and she won by length and a quarter in the 8 bells. That was Umberto Rispoli's first time aboard her. This will be his third time aboard her, but the only other time was she finished second to Lacara in the Acorn going a mile. So she will have a very good chance in this race tomorrow at 8-1. In fact, I'd probably make her the second choice to Echo Sound.
So it's interesting. You're not giving a lot of pull right now to the Godolphin Stables horse, the one horse. Ragtime.
Yeah, I like she'll probably have a difficult trip from down inside because she doesn't really have that much speed, and so she's going to naturally find herself in behind and have to come around horses. And I'm not sure if tomorrow will be the day for her to beat Grade One company. She's undefeated, so she's 2 for 2. Junior Alvarado, Billy Mott, the people who bring you sovereignty for the same owner, Godolphin. That they'll be as confident as they can be, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Ragtime tomorrow. Now, I'm not saying she can't do it. Because she's got all the connections, all the right names around her. She's by Union Rags out of a Stormcat mare, who must be fairly old, I would say, because Stormcat's been gone for a while.
Right.
You know.
But it's you're right. I mean, this horse would probably be 5-2 or 3-1 if it had the 5 or 6 or 7 post. But the one post is going to be tough here.
It's one post going to be tough, and she's, I mean, another thing is she's only 4-1.
Right.
It's not like you're getting a 20-1 shot and you're taking a chance with her from the rail. You're not really going to get well rewarded, even if she does overcome all the adversities that she's got to overcome tomorrow.
That's right. And that brings us to, in my opinion, this could be the best race of the year. The Whitney. This is just a loaded field of the best horses in the world.
Now, Mindframe is going to scratch. So he's just in this race in case Fierceness gets a temperature, or
so you're saying Mindframe's definitely going to scratch in this race?
He's definitely going to. Now, that's what Todd Pletcher has said when he entered him. He said, "I'm only entering him because of the Fierceness." I believe that has happened to him once before. I think wasn't the Kentucky Derby, but I think he got scratched on the morning of some race. And so they're owned by the same owner, Rapoli Stable. And so he's just in there for that. But besides that, it is a great race.
Oh,
fantastic. So what's the weather going to be like, Howie? Because that's
I think it's going to be pretty good. I don't see any rain in the forecast for tomorrow. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day, 79, 80 degrees. It's going to be nice tomorrow. No rain, nothing. It's going to be a fast track.
Well, I say Fierceness, he second to Sierra Leone in the Breeders' Cup Classic last year. And he ran the most incredible race that day. He went 44 and change for the half and was still coming back going 1.25 miles. It was just, so that race was just, and to be honest with you, I went there to the Breeders' Cup last year and made one bet, Sierra Leone in the Classic.
Okay.
Sierra Leone. And so because the race looked like it was going to set up so much for him, but it absolutely set up beyond belief for him. Now, this race tomorrow is not going to set up the same way at all. And Fierceness, he was he was down on the rail in the Met Mile. And there was only 5 horses in there, but the mile start in the chute at Saratoga. When you break from the inside, you got to come out, because if those horses naturally come down to the rail and they'll try, you'll be checking. Fierceness is not that type of horse. He does not want to be checking and find himself he's just not a horse that wants to be in a position where he has to get out of trouble, and that. Now from the 9 hole, he's not going to have that trouble tomorrow, and going 1 mile and an eighth, and he'll be able to just survey the situation from out there, and I believe he's going to be absolutely double tough to beat. Now, the only thing that he has to prove to me yet is that he can run that 1.25 miles going 44 and change and come back and be able to repeat that. I'm not sure if that didn't take a lot out of him, and he's maybe not quite the same horse, but Todd Pletcher's in his corner. Todd Pletcher saying he's doing great. He's relaxed a lot more. He was a horse at 2 years old that nothing could go wrong with. If it went right, he ran incredible, but if it went wrong, he didn't run at all. So now he's over that. Now things can go wrong a little bit, and he's still able. He used to be like a horse that had to be on the lead. Now he doesn't need to be on the lead. Johnny Velasquez knows him so well. So I think that he's going to be the best bet on the card tomorrow. I mean, White Barrio was the Whitney winner 2 years ago, and White Barrio was fourth in the Met Mile. Didn't really run his race at 5-2, so he'll be looking to rebound tomorrow. And the way he won the Whitney 2 years ago, if he runs like that, but that was 2 years ago, he'll be. He's made $7 million, by the way.
Wyatt Barrios made $7 million.
7 million.
Wow.
Yeah, he's by a $5,000 stallion called Race Day, who never really had another horse. Rick
So
Dutrow did an incredible job with this horse. You know, if there's ever a movie that should be written, it's about Rick Dutrow's life and his 10-year suspension for him to come back and win the Breeders' Cup Classic in his first year back. You know, like.
Saffie Joseph is training him now, it looks like.
Yeah, Safi's training now, but Rick Dutrow had him when he won the Whitney and the Breeders' Cup Classic.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, the horse would be. There's a few horses in here. Look, Sierra Leone is still going to be.
Oh yeah,
there.
Like Sierra Leone, he's winless at Saratoga, but he's 5 of 6 or 6 of 6 in the money, going a mile and an eighth. And you know, he's run some great races at Saratoga, and he was second last time out behind Mindframe in the Stephen Foster. And you know, his 2 races this year haven't really looked like he's the same horse, even though he posted 104 Beyer and 103 Beyer in his last 2 starts. But he looked like a better horse last year, and Fierceness in the Travers and the Jim Dandy beat him both times. And Fierceness looks tomorrow like there's enough speed in the race where he's going to be parked on the outside. And, you know, I mean, I don't know if there's quite enough speed to set it up for Sierra Leone, but you know, Fierceness, he'll get a great trip, especially coming out of that Met Mile, where he was forced to go 46 and 4, being right there. You know, he wasn't quite in front of Raging Torrent, but you know, he's won 3 of 4 at Saratoga with a second place finish. And that was second to Raging Torrent last time out. He's 2 for 2 at this distance. You know, he's going to be double tough.
Yeah, the horse is going to be tough. But I will say this is the Whitney, this is Saratoga, this is the
graveyard of favorites.
This is the graveyard of favorites. So don't be surprised if you see a horse like Post Time, or, you know, Godolphin has a horse in this race that, you know, has a shot.
Sure.
Anyone could win this. There's a horse in here that I think Chad Brown has like 50 to 1.
Contrary Thinking.
Yeah.
Dylan Davis. Yeah, he comes off. Yeah.
Now Dylan Davis, he's not having a great meet, man. He's not.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say that, because, you know, he's got Flavian Pratt. He's got the 2 Ortiz boys, Joel Rosario, Johnny Velasquez, Luis Saez. They're all competing for, you know, every race at Saratoga, and he's won. Like, it only says he's 6 for 68, but I would say he's probably won 8 races at this stage by the time this, you know, and if he doubles that by the end of the meet to win 16 races at Saratoga, we're halfway through, or maybe not even halfway through. He'll have a good meet barring accidents.
Yeah, come back.
But you know why Contrary Thinking is in the race, because he's owned by Peter Brandt, who also owns Sierra Leone along with John Magnier, and Contrary Thinking is going to be a rabbit in there to hopefully set it up for Sierra Leone. You know, Aidan O'Brien runs rabbits all the time in his races in Europe. He sometimes puts 2 rabbits in the race, and being a rabbit meaning to go out to the front and get caught. Yeah. And so that's what Contrary Thinking is in that race tomorrow for.
Man, I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be, you look at Peter Brandt. This guy's won over $28 million in his career.
Yeah. I don't know what you're reading off right there, but Peter Brandt is an art dealer who is married to that supermodel, Stephanie Seymour, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
she was hot in the 80s. I haven't seen her lately.
Yeah. Well, you know how that goes.
I know how it goes. Absolutely. Yeah, he's a big horse guy. Yeah, career statistics. Peter Brandt's had 798 starts. I mean, this guy's owned horses for a long time.
Yeah, he owned Gulch.
That goes back.
Yeah, that goes back.
Yeah, he's got 193 wins. This year he's only got $334,000 in wins. That'll probably change tomorrow.
Yeah,
That'll go up a little bit.
yeah. That's amazing that he's only won 331,000 this year.
This year, 2025.
Wow. And
Yeah.
he will spend like I'd say 20 million on yearlings and 2-year-old sales. And I mean, I'm not sure, but he's quite an investment in this game.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure he's got a lot of tax losses over the
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
I mean, he's got 28.5 million dollars in career winnings, but I'm sure he's probably spent well over 100 million.
Oh yeah, like I mean, he'll have stallions. Come he had Raging Bull, and I think no, he didn't own Jack Christopher, but he'll have stallions, and they'll have made plenty of money. Besides, that number that you're reading, and the brood mares, and he's got more going on than you think.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, and that's where the money's made. And
Yeah,
get a stallion. I mean,
yeah, he's an art dealer.
Art dealer. That's a great way to embezzle money. That's a good way to clean money, is being an art dealer.
Absolutely, you should become one yourself.
Yeah. You sell your powder over here and just funnel it through your art, through your finger paint. I should get into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we like Fierceness tomorrow. The 9. It's gonna be the horse to beat. I'd like to see him win. I hope Johnny Velasquez gets a win tomorrow. He's just a great guy.
He needs it. $510 million in earnings.
Yeah, he's had a nice little career.
Yeah.
So that's it tomorrow. We've gone over every race, man. We've given you winners on this thing. So
yes, we have. We've given you favorites that wouldn't win too.
We gave you favorites that wouldn't win. And Frank gave you a nice long shot early. I'm going to play him. Well, let's see how it goes, and we'll be back next week, because racing's just kicked off at Saratoga, and there's so many just great weekends left of just, the best races in the world. We got the Travers coming up, man.
That's it. I can't wait for the Breeders' Cup Classic this year, though. That's going to be the best race of all time.
Ever. I mean, that's going to be...
Hopefully they all stay sound till then.
Yeah.
But if they do and they run, there's another horse, Forever Young, who will be over from Japan if he's safe and sound at that stage, and the Japanese will have a couple of runners too.
Yeah, those guys. I mean, Japan's picked up horse racing. It's kind of exploding over there.
Well, it has exploded for a while.
Yeah, it used to be sushi. Now it's horses. So that's what it's all about, man. Well, that's it. We'll be back with you guys next week on the Degenerate Gamblers. Like what you hear, look, go to WAP.com, join, because we're going to be putting plays in all summer right up to the Breeders' Cup. Horse racing is picking up. It definitely is. I mean, the handles are just continue to go up. Thank God for legalized gambling. It just helps degenerates like myself continue. So,
yes, exactly.
We'll see you guys next week.
All right. See you, Howie. See you, everybody.